Good morning, UCC.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to bring the good word to you today. This is my first sermon not at Pilgrim, and I am grateful for the opportunity as I work toward and discern toward ordination in the UCC. I bring you greetings from all of the pilgrims at Pilgrim CC in Carlsbad. As I was thinking about a text that might work for today, I wanted to bring you a little something with that pilgrim ethos. We are a passionate group. We are active in social justice and community. What grounds this commitment is the belief in God's compassionate love for all. We believe in the dignity and integrity of each creature on this earth, and it calls us to act. I was reading through the lectionary text for this week, and I was excited because I love Psalm 139. Every time I read this text, I am captivated by its capacity to express that sense of God, that transcendent, unknowable divine is also so near to us, pushing us in tender, intimate ways, pursuing us, loving us. The poet sings, "You hem me in before and behind. You lay your hand upon me. Where can I go from your spirit? If I take the wings of the morning and settle in the farthest limits of the sea, your hand shall hold me fast." God follows us even to the end of the earth. The center of this psalm, not included in the lectionary reading, says, "You knit me in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth." The poet is calling out to a God who seeks us, wraps us in love, and journeys with us. A God who knows our whole and full selves and waits in anticipation for the people we may become, hoping to guide us toward fullness of life. This poem is so beautiful that a few years ago I shared it with pilgrims during our annual Coming Out Sunday. National Coming Out Day happens in mid-October, and it's an opportunity for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex umbrella community to come out, to be welcomed in our community. So on this particular Sunday, we invite LGBT community to step forward and be welcomed by the congregation. We also invite people who are coming out for the first time to come out in a safe and welcoming space. This last year that I used the text, we welcomed each other saying, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made." A lady sent me a note later that week to share how transformative the experience had been. She expressed how she had never heard this text applied to the LGBT community. And she just shared with me the love that she felt in hearing this. She left Pilgrim knowing that God desires us to be our whole, full selves. And the truth is, God is with us even when we don't feel like our full selves. In the depths of despair, we are enveloped by God. When we are kind and when we are cruel, God is beside us. And indeed, in our moments of great joy, God is with us. We are surrounded by the God who loves us. The psalmist is seeking to convey this strange and wonderful sensation of intimacy with the great divine. Marcus Borg puts it like this: God is like the wind that moves outside us and the breath that moves inside us. We are in God even as God is also in us. The divine unknowable that holds all things together is in us. And we are somehow in God. God is our very breath, in our very breath. And God knows us and all of our intricacies. As opposed to a knowing that's scientific and observational, this is a relational, intimate sort of knowing. That kind of knowing that comes with abiding with somebody. Like a dance partner who can predict your next move, God knows you. God seeks us out, embraces us just as we are, wherever we are on our journey, and reaches out to us in love. This is the kind of knowing that restores our souls. This is the kind of knowing that heals. The teacher and author Parker Palmer writes, "This love knows our limits as well as our potential, our capacity for evil as well as good, the persistent self-centeredness with which we exploit the community for our own needs. Yet, as love, it does not seek to confine or manipulate us. Instead, it offers us the constant grace of self-knowledge and acceptance that can liberate us to live larger love. This love is transformational. We all have wounds to be healed. Our human desire to control our environment has led us to hurt and be hurt by others. Even the poet wishes their enemies would die." This is also not included in the lectionary reading. But the poem concludes with an honest request for God to see the wickedness and lead in the way everlasting. God's kind of knowing, the compassionate love, invites us into transformational joy. This divine way of knowing heals us, and it can heal the world. God invites us to practice this loving way of knowing so that we can renew the broken web of life. But what does that look like? This spring I had the delight, an exhausting experience, of participating in clinical pastoral education, a pastoral care internship with Sharp Hospital. I met with people who were sick and suffering, physically, emotionally, and often spiritually. The people I visited were homebound and were often disconnected from the families, the congregations, and communities that they had once been part of. They were no longer seen about town, and many of them felt they were no longer seen at all. As a chaplain, I had the honor to step in for just a moment, to see them, to be physically present with them. I had the privilege of seeing them spiritually with the eyes of compassionate love. I got to walk with them, got to know them as they are known by God, as much as is possible. There is a deep, mutual healing that happens in these interactions, because I know it is the divine knower that connects us, that binds us together, and knows us both full well. As I reach toward the patient, I seek the divine, compassionate love that heals. And in these moments, one can see the healing on the patient's face, and I could feel the healing in my own heart. And you too can experience this divine, compassionate healing. In kindness and openness to others, we are able to get a glimpse of what God sees in our neighbor. Again, Palmer writes, "This love knows our limits as well as our potential, our capacity for evil as well as good, the persistent self-centeredness with which we exploit the community for our own gain. Yet as love, it does not seek to confine or manipulate us. It offers us the constant grace of self-knowledge and acceptance that can liberate us to live a larger love." When we meet with our neighbor, our friend, our sibling, and take stock of who they are, knowing their capacity to heal and to harm, and we choose the grace of it and acceptance, we get to participate in God's compassionate love. Every act of compassion, every moment of loving presence that we share offers us an opportunity to see as God sees and participate in the healing of hearts. We may even meet the divine along the way. And I know this is a simple message. You've heard it since you were little, but it's still true. It's simple and it's true, and it can transform the world. I pray that we can all be this brave to love and be loved like this. Amen.